Who's a good boy? Sit. Who's a good boy? That's a good boy. Hey guys, welcome to another DIY adventure with Dion. Today I am going to be showing you how we made a ironing center out of this sewing cabinet. Come on. Well, he's off to get what's needed for our new project. Today we are going to be making a sewing machine cabinet into a ironing board, because it's when it folds out it is absolutely perfect. However, I need it taller, and I want to add wheels to it. So we're going to add wheels. We've got a little bit of repair work to do right here, if you can see it. You're not wanting to focus at all, are you, bad boy? All right, so anyway, this is from my old Kenmore sewing machine. I just love my Kenmores, my old sewing machine. But anyway, this cabinet here wasn't being used, so I decided I needed a bigger ironing board. So voila, that is what we're doing. We're making an ironing board. Stay tuned. Let's see how this little project goes. So here it is. He ended up taking the legs off, building some feet to put the wheels. Got the wheels at Arbor Freight. They're lockable. So see, that goes like that. And this is how he ended up doing after we went ahead and cut the legs off, because determined that might be the better route, just to cut them off. And so did it like that. See the edge. And then we're going to put that board right there over this, and then I'll add in all my cushion. And there's on that side. Also, doing it that way stabilizes this table right here a little more. So yay! It's perfect. Well, I found some old fabric in my stash. In my stash. Yes, I finally got it organized. Anyhow, and I am testing it out because I have no clue. I don't even know where I got this. I'm thinking I got it at a house. A lady left a bunch of fabric behind, and I'm thinking this was one of them. So it's going to work out perfect for my ironing board. I did the burn test. It burns like cotton, not like polyester. It doesn't melt. So, and it looks like it's taking that hot iron very nicely. Very nicely. So I've got that. And turn that off. My little my little dragon. He's a good little dragon. Okay. Plans are ready. I think I have it all organized as to how I'm going to do everything. My plan is, first we're going to cut the board. I'm going to put this barrier, which is a insulated bubble wrap type thing, white side down facing the board, and then the silver will go up towards. That way I don't get moisture in my wood and cause a mildew or a fungus. Well, we're putting the bottom board on and realized that we needed to do something about these little hinge bumps. So my honey came up with a great idea. We're going to take it like this, each individual piece, and then we're going to file around this or cut it out, and it ends up looking like this, which means our next board going on top will be flush. Be sure and make your corners rounded. You don't want it sticking through the fabric. So now we're cutting. We got the 2 end pieces, and now we're cutting the middle piece. And we've already got our big long piece right there that's going to go on top of this section. So now let me flip y'all upside down. We've added the 3 layers. I've sanded around, sanded the corners, made them where they're corners now instead of points. We got 1, and that's where to keep it from bumping where the latches are. We put those 3 boards down, and now we've got our main board, and we're fixing to screw that in to the top. That's the next step. Here's a little tip. The materials that make up the sewing machine cabinet, they are extremely hard to screw through, and it will break your screws off. So use heavy-duty screws when you go to do this project if you're using a sewing machine cabinet. We ended up having to put some major screws in there. That wood was extremely difficult to screw through. Kept breaking our screws off. So we got some torque screws and drilled through. Went ahead and pre-drilled again the hole, and then put in the screw, and those screws worked. However, they stuck out a little bit, so we're gonna go ahead and sand that all down with the grinder. So that's what we're doing right now. Well, I found some paint that I've had for years, and I'm using it. I think it'll go good with my topper. It's kind of a green, olive, golden green. Anywho, I'm painting it, getting it ready, got the topper glued down. That should keep, hopefully, the moisture and the heat from the wood. Oh, there it is, from the wood. So now I'm just painting. Okay, we'll see how this goes. This is playing it by ear. All right, bye. Well, I pretty well have everything painted on this, a second coat. I think it's gonna look good. Again, I'm not doing like a major overhaul on this thing. I mean, I got it for like almost, well, pretty well nothing. So it's just gonna be a usable piece of furniture, but I think it's gonna look good. I think it's gonna turn out. Now I am working on the hardware, and I think those are going to turn out looking really good. All right, well, let me get back to it. Yeah, let me get back to it. See you in a bit. Well, I do have them. I have it painted. Of course, you're not going to see the underside, and I'm not going to worry about painting that. But anywho, it is there. I got it painted and then ready to dry. I kind of like that color. I really do. That was in a business I had at one time, and the paint's like 7 years old. Went through freeze and extreme heat, and yet it's still doing good. That's a good brand of paint. All right, so I'm taking this back off, and we have to revamp the top. We're going to use plywood. I'm going to extend it out a little further so it'll be easier to get my cover on. And also it should, like this is kind of wobbly. This is, so I mean, you know, if you lean down here, it's gonna really, I'm worried that it may end up causing problems. So I'm gonna put that plywood on top of that. That's the next project. In the meantime, I'm waiting for my edging to dry because I had to repaint it. I had to paint it because now you can see, you're going to be able to see it, where before you were not. But anyway, yeah. This is, oh, and I went darker on the hardware. And I like it. So, I like it better than I did the antique bronze or gold. Yeah, so I like it. I think it's looking good, looking better than what it did. Okay. Off to more adventures. Ta-da! Well, we got the plywood on and we really laid the screws heavy on it to get that lean. Remember that lean that was right here? So that's done. Yeah, now to put the topper on. So there we are. I like this a lot better. Ta-da! So I'm taking my batting now and getting ready to cut it. My plan is to make a double batting. So I'm not going with the metal, with the, you know, I probably should. All right, we've got our new board, and I got 1.5 inch overhang all the way around. I've curved my edges, which they don't have to be. We didn't have the right tools. We're working on our RV, so all the tools are at the RV. But anyway, we made do with some metal cutters and curved around that and sanded it. And then now I'm going to add in this bubble wrap that is going to protect my wood from getting moisture in it when I'm ironing and causing, you know, funky monkey mold and mildew. So that's what the plan is for me to do right now. So I am just going to lay it on here and then I'm going to cut around it. I probably will spray a little adhesive on it to make it stick so I get a good clean cut. So that's my plan for right now. And there's my dog sniffing around. Okay, I've cut my cotton and I've measured and I want it where it's going. I'm going to staple it right along this edge here. That's where I plan on stapling it. Make sure we get it all even. I'm going to spray, put a little spray adhesive on it so it doesn't slip and slide. And then I'll cut off any excess. You know what I mean. All right, so there we go. So let me go cut another one of these because I want 2. And then we will come and mist some glue on there and get them set and then go around and staple it. Okay, so now I have sprayed the silver up underneath, the insulation up underneath, just to give this where it's not slidey. And I'm going to staple around the edge, the fabric around the edge, so I'm making sure that my fabric, all 3 layers, yes, I did 3 layers. All 3 layers is going to go around. Once I get this on, I am going to, I'm making sure all 3 layers, all 3 layers, all 3. Make sure there's no wrinkles, all that good stuff. And we will staple it down just like upholstery. Okay, it's all looking good. We got all 3 layers, yep. Okay, so I'll get that all done out. And I'm going to start on my shortest end to make sure I got the short end done. So, make sure that and that, yes. Okay, so we got that. Now once I get this on, get it all stapled around, then I will measure again for my topping. Just a little tip, don't do like I did. On your, if you're using the cotton quilt for quilts and such, there is a bumpy side, you can see it, and then there is a smooth side. Make sure you have your smooth side facing up, not your bumpy side. Okay, so now I've got it all stapled, and what I have decided is that I am going to cut some of this right here, of course, off, but I'm going to tack it up underneath. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm really liking this ironing board. This is going to be so nice. Well, after measuring, I have now cut out the piece that is going to be my topper. Look at that. Look at pretty that's gonna look. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so now I've got to fold my sides here in a 1/2 inch, iron, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do just a little tacking stitch, and then I am going to do another 1/4 turn, and that will be for my another 1/2 inch turn, and that will be for my casing for my little string. And I think I'm going to have a wonderful tablecloth. It's so awesome. All this worked out. So now I go in and I am going to fold this at 1/4 inch. And to go around the seams, I take a block. I iron first. Well, first I measure, then I iron, and to get it to really hold it down, then I place a block on top of it. And I know a lot of people go in and buy wood blocks, but that seems to be working for me. Now I will take it and move it on down and do a 1/2 inch all the way. Then I'll come back for my next 1/2 inch. So I'm just sewing right on the edge. And when you're going around those corners, you probably will want to sew a little. You'll end up missing some, so you'll probably want to go back and re-sew those corners. They're very difficult to sew, But anyway, we're doing it, or I'm doing it. And I don't know I'm not a professional sewer at all. But see, I'm doing it. And you can too, huh? All right, let me get finished with this, and then I'll go and put the string in. Yay, I'm so excited. Well, it is done. I have a ironing board center. I love it. It turned out really, really nice. I've got drawers now for I don't know what. But anywho, just a little tips when you're bringing your string through. Before you start pulling, be sure and tie them together like a knot or something where you're not pulling just on one side or the other. And another tip is as you're making and putting your cording in, you're going to have to work that fabric on down that cord. Unless it's a different type of fabric or maybe a different type of cord, but it's kind of difficult to do, but you can get it done. I promise you can get it done. Also, make you long pulls. I burned my ends, being it's this kind of material, it melts. And then, let's see here, what else? Yeah, be sure and tie them. I put little knots right there at the entrance. As you can see right there at the entrance of where the hole to the casing is. I put knots so that way it's less likely to pull back in. Then I'm having to redo it all again, especially when you're washing. Keep them tight, tie them up really good. And then with your long straps, you can just take it and stick it under your cover like so. So they're not hanging all out. But yes, I love it. Look at that. Now you're not going to be real tight around here. But if you look at a sewing board, you're not really that tight around there. As far as the casing, you can go 1/2 inch if you're using a smaller type string. Let's see here. Let me look in the garbage so you will know. Let's see here. That was 5/32, and it was kind of difficult getting it through the casing. But I'm thinking I would go maybe 3/4 of an inch casing, especially if you're using a thicker rope. So keep that in mind. You can get by with doing a thicker casing, but I love it. I love it. Now I'm ready to get busy making my robe. I don't know if I showed y'all this or not, but this is say hello. This is my newest project I'm going to do. It's odd how all that shows up on that black. But anywho, this is curtain I had 34 years ago. And this is tapestry I had 34 years ago hanging in my house. And then I've got beads that I've just collected over the years. But so that's my next project. So y'all tune in, and we're going to be going over, I'm going to be making this pattern right there. And I'm going to be doing D. So I'm new to everything, so it's going to be a little fun experience to see what exactly I'm going to be making. Yeah, there's the curtains, and then there's the tapestry that was on the wall. I did wash it, and look, I mean, it turned out really, really nice. I mean, it's like soft now, and it said on there, and I washed those, and it said dry clean only. Of course, I just did cold water, and then I gave them a little bit of heat there at the beginning, but then once they showed the least bit of sign of starting to dry out, I took them out of the dryer, and well, actually I didn't take them out of the dryer. I just turned on the air dry, no heat, and put these they're like wool balls. So, and it really made it nice. Okay, so that's it. One more shot of my beautiful ironing center. Now, if I can just keep my husband from laying stuff on it and making it look nasty, we're doing good. All right, bye you guys. Be sure and like and subscribe, and let's go on adventures together. DIY adventures. I love it. All right. Bye-bye, you guys.